Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to Auntie Yaa's Book Corner. This is Auntie Yaa, otherwise known as Yaa for Tobra. And today I'm going to be speaking about Are Your Words a Blessing? This is Pearls of Wisdom with Auntie Yaa. It's pre-recorded. So if you come on, please leave your comments and we shall respond later. So, what kind of words do you hear around you? What did you hear growing up? Were they words that blessed you or words that tore you down? Now, when we look in the scriptures, there are many examples of scriptures that deal with the tongue or our speech. And I'm going to go through a classic one with you. I won't read all of it, but I'll highlight them. James 3. So it says, when we put bits into the mouth of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever they go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boast. So it talks about, a great forest being set on fire by a small spark. Yes, the tongue is also a fire. It corrupts the whole body. It sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and it's itself set on fire by hell. And then when you jump to, it talks about, with the same, verse 10, out of the same mouth come praise and cursing, so the same tongue, we use it to praise and then we use it to curse. I'm as guilty of it as you are. I'm not leaving myself out. So what I know is that I prefer to be, what do you call it? I prefer to be a Barnabas, a son of encouragement or daughter of encouragement. Speak positive words to people. Speak positive words to people instead of tearing them down. Okay? Like some of us have never recovered from the words that were spoken to us in our childhood. I remember being called names when I walked around the neighborhood, in schools, what have you. And you grow up with this feeling that you are the ugliest person that ever walked the face of the earth. But then you come to realize that it was done by insecure people. If it was boys, they liked you, they didn't know how to verbalize it, so they had to resort to that. And that is how we are programmed. I always make this comment. I have some particular phrases that I use or I created. We come from a culture of shaming. Yes, would rather shame people than build up. Yesterday, I happened to be on TikTok scrolling through. I see this guy slamming women left, right, center. And I ask myself, what is it about the Ghanaian woman that they've now become such trash that men get on platforms and do this? Yeah, so let's look at a few scriptures that I have here. So when you look at Proverbs 26:20, for example, and I'm going to go there so I can read it. I have it in my notes, but it's a good one to read aloud. It says, without wood, a fire goes out. Without gossip, a quarrel dies down. I like the without wood part because you know how my take on it is when somebody comes to you with a tasty, juicy morsel, you have the advantage of stopping it right there. Like you tell them, nope, I don't believe this, or I'm not into that. I don't want to hear it. Let's talk about something else. But if you all ears, eyes agog, joining in and gossiping and tearing that person apart, then we have a problem. Yes. So without gossip, a quarrel dies down. You see on social media beefs. this person is talking. Sometimes two people are fighting, and you see the same people on these two platforms supporting those same two. They are fueling it. They are fueling it. They're fueling the fire. This is what goes on. Okay, so that's one right there. And then let's go to Proverbs 15. Proverbs 15, verse 4. It says, the soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. I gave you the example before. Can you imagine how I felt? To come into a different environment and then people admire you, or they tell you that you are beautiful and you're looking at them in disbelief. And as I say this, our negativity will say, oh, she's on there boasting about how beautiful she is. Yes, I am. I believe it. But I didn't when I was a child. That is the difference, because I heard negative things. We don't build up. I'm not saying all of us. Some do, but on the main, the negativity is a bit much. So that's that one. Yeah. And then also I have let me see. Okay, I'll find it and then I'll read it out aloud. So you see, we have to train ourselves to be a people who build up. You know, even if you have criticism, don't go say it in love, criticize, or, offer it in love. So Matthew 15:11 says, what goes into someone's mouth does not defile them, but what comes out of their mouth, that is what defiles them. I think there's something in Proverbs somewhere that you keep quiet when you open your mouth is when people know that you're a fool. So whatever comes out of your mouth tells people who you are. So if you are going around slamming people, oh, do you know who I am? You are nobody, you are this, you are that. People look at you and go, oh, that's an arrogant man. Right. Sometimes it's just wise to be silent. And also there's people who don't listen. They have their own opinions. So when you meet such, this is how I treat it. They go on and on and on trying to argue. I keep quiet. I say, you know what you know? I know what I know, and I'm not going to stick to mine. And I leave. Sometimes you don't have to argue. Let people be who they are and you be yourself. You haven't lost anything. It's not that you're agreeing with them, but you come to a place where you say, we'll agree to disagree. Yes. So to end it all, I would say this, we have loose tongues, we have the sharp tongues. So loose tongues, they go around speaking, telling people's tales. Like for me, if somebody comes to tell me a secret, they'll say, don't tell anybody. I'll keep quiet. Then I hear it from another person, meaning that that individual went to that person too, and they couldn't keep their lips shut. I'm going to go to Ephesians 4:29 to summarize it all. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Whatever you say to people, even if it's going to be a negative feedback, put it in a positive way so that it is not hurting the recipient of your advice or of your feedback. So as a people, especially when we are raising little children, you have to learn to build them up. I'm not saying give them everything and spoil them, but you build them up. Even when they go wrong, you lovingly correct them. Our words can be harsh. We need to speak positive words. We need to be encouragers, okay? So with that, I just came your way just to ask, are your words a blessing? I've quoted a few scriptures. You can do your own research and find more to lead and to guide you as you go about your daily life. So this has been Auntie Yaa with Pearls of Wisdom. On this platform, we have our Saturday Facebook Lives, and then also every second Saturday. So this Saturday coming up, we're talking about